Hey, what's up, wrestling fam? Me and Layla are here with another video that's gonna help you become a more supportive and helpful wrestler parent. And if you're a wrestler, we make videos for you too. And this one's for everybody, right?
All right then, let's do it.
Yes, let's get into it. Shake. Good girl. Okay. Let's do the preview, okay? We're gonna do the quick version for those of you that are impatient.
Me?
And then if you're not, you can watch the whole thing, okay? Number 1, practice. We always say drill twice a day. 2, focus on the growth, not the winning. That's gonna help your kiddos be way less nervous and more confident. Number 3, visualize with them and hype them up before their matches. Number 4, help them relax. Okay?
Okay.
If you want to know more about all that, we're going to go into it in this video.
10-4.
Number 1, practice. Layla knows all about this. You help them wrestle practice, don't you? When it comes to practicing, I don't care if you are practicing with them or if they are practicing with a sibling or if they are drilling on their own. Either way, the movements are going to become more like clockwork for them and they're going to feel very confident. Any athlete, if they do the movements repeatedly, they can do them with enthusiasm and with power when they're in the actual athletic event. Okay, so drilling in the morning and drilling at night is very important. And I'm going to link a video below where Lucas talks about that more. And he goes over some of his favorite wrestling moves that have helped him get better over time. So if you pick 2 moves on the top, bottom, and neutral position that you really like to do and that you want to be really good at, that's the most important thing. If you're learning 700 moves and you can't keep them straight in your head, then you're going to be a very confused wrestler and not very confident about what you can do out there, okay?
Okay.
So as time goes on, you can build your confidence with other moves, but have your key moves and know your kids' key moves. Work through it with them, get to know what they are. If you're the one that's wrestling with them, a mat is nice. It's not a requirement. If you're gonna wrestle on carpet, just have long sleeves, long pants. They have like the knee supports that you can get, adult sizes, kid sizes, whatever. I think most of them are like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu ones, BJJ. There's plenty of them that are also wrestling too. I used to wrestle with the kids a lot because, you know, when they're 40 and 50 pounds, I'm a lot smaller compared to my husband. And so even though he knows a ton about wrestling, he's a great coach, and he's the ideal person to drill with them, for them to put him in a cradle, their little bodies are getting smashed. So if you're a mom and you want to support your kid in wrestling, let them wrestle with you. And don't always try to win, okay? To build their confidence, it's important that we let them win sometimes. Not all the time, but you gotta let them feel confident about what they're doing, okay? Don't put your full force into it. We all know that we can beat somebody up that's, 1/8 our size or something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna hold you to the ground. Okay, not a challenge. No one's clapping their hands at you, okay? Let the kid win a little bit and then teach them what they need to learn. You can practice ways for them to, carefully. Hold on, I gotta let the dog out. She is whining. Let her out. I interrupt this broadcast to properly introduce myself. We are the Cool Wrestling Club, but I am specifically the matriarch. Just kidding. I'm the mom. My name's Rini. I'm in charge of nutrition. I'm in charge of hyping up, mental aspect. Husband does that a lot too. A lot. But our channel is based on helping your wrestler grow, educating you as a parent, and giving you a good experience with youth wrestling. So if you like this content, of course, like, subscribe, and comment, because that helps push out information to more people, and we want everyone to know this. I got tons of free info, and I love to share it, and so do the rest of us, okay? So, back to the broadcast. I'm back! The dog has gone outside, everything is good, and as long as she isn't whining anymore, then we should be fine. Okay, more on practice that I want to say. If you're the one that's practicing with your child and you don't know a lot about wrestling, that's not a problem. When my boys started and my husband wanted me to wrestle the boys, I did a ton of research. I was like, what are the main moves that they should do? What are the counterattacks? What should they be doing? If you really, really want your child to be successful in wrestling, you should know what they're doing. And it doesn't really take a lot of time. And that's probably, that's something good for us to consider, is creating a video for parents, just like a 101. Here's the few basic moves. Here's what they can do and what they can work on, and something to help you if you're going to help your child at home. So there's that. And we're also going to do some drilling videos. We do have one, but it's just knees over toes. It's not really in depth. There's so many more drills that they'll do throughout practice. So the second thing that you want to think about when you're practicing with them is that you do want them to win. You want them to have that confidence that they can win in a wrestling match. But you also want to challenge them a little bit. And when they are kind of not wrestling very hard and you feel like they could be going harder, it's okay to kind of put a little pressure on them and make them work harder. Because sometimes in practice, they'll be matched up with somebody that's not as good as them, and they're not challenged. And the only challenge that they get is at a tournament. So that's great to have a challenge at a tournament, but we want them paired up with kids that challenge them at least some of the time at practice. You're not going to always have the perfect matchup in practice, especially depending on how big the class is that is in, or I should say, the amount of kids in the wrestling club. So there's that. And I have a whole like takedown video of my husband taking down Lucas in a match, because he's just trying to teach him the counter moves that you need for being taken down, for being sprawled on, this and that. There's so many things that need to be considered, and your kids need to be put in those difficult positions to know how to train out of that. Okay, it's just repetition. So the second thing to build their confidence, and here's the thing, confidence leads to intensity, and so that's the bottom line. When you're like, be more intense, be faster, it's the confidence, the intensity, it all comes from, these four things. So the second thing is focusing on growth and not winning, okay? So if your kid thinks you're going to be mad at them if they don't win, they're not going to feel very confident. If you say you're only going to get a candy bar, or you're only going to get a stuffed animal if you win, that's kind of crushing. So we don't always win in life. In fact, in wrestling, you shouldn't. What happens is you could do well, and then your rank goes up, and then you're matched up with people that are harder. And at some point, and there's freaks of nature, right? Good freaks of nature that they always win. And that is wonderful. And I'm sure they've worked hard for that. Or they're just naturally gifted at that, or they've been wrestling since they were 2 years old. Who knows? But eventually they're going to lose. And you really want to focus on the growth aspect, because yes, winning is a great thing to happen. But if we're talking about working on somebody's confidence, you're probably not always winning, right? If you want your kid to be confident, you need to let them know. No matter whether you win or you lose, I still love you and I'm still proud of you, okay? We fail as parents. Many people I see struggling with this aspect and being really upset with their kids and things like that. And I think that's where some of that insecurity comes in. They don't want to do the next tournament. They're scared you're going to be mad at them. They're scared that they're going to disappoint you, you know, and you just need to make sure that you're reassuring them. Because even if you do, kids a lot of times don't want to go to tournaments. They feel nervous. It's hard. It's a hard sport. It's really hard to take a loss. It's really hard to be held down like that. And youth wrestling, typically, most kids are matched up and not able to win every single match every single time. So almost every kid is going to experience that loss, and that's okay. Just keep reminding your kids you are proud of them, and that sportsmanship is the most important thing, okay? So rewarding kids for having a good attitude. If they lose all their matches, it's just important that you see them using those moves, trying hard, and having a good attitude. Shake hands at the end. Listen to what your coach says about what you could have done differently. And if you need to have a meltdown, have it after the match. Plain and simple. That should be rewarded. That is the point of wrestling. We're wrestling because it builds our character. It helps us be a hard worker. It makes us incredibly resilient. So this is what we should be rewarding. And if somebody throws their headgear, or, you know, they are a bad sport, they are celebrating being vicious to somebody else. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw this, but recently there was I think it was a college wrestler. He was celebrating pointing at the guy that he beat. And I think that's just incredibly gross. I think it's gross. But that's my opinion. You might think that's fine. And if you just want to win and that's where you are, then, you know, maybe you're going to be clicking off this video. I think that having people with good sportsmanship and integrity is a big part of wrestling. And we should really value that above all else. So tip number 3 for building their confidence is visualization. So you can't practice wrestling every second of the day, right? But you can visualize unlimited. And studies have shown that athletic performance increases with visualization. So that you know, memory, that muscle memory, it actually is triggered by visualization as well. So this can happen before your match, on the way to the tournament, anytime. Encourage your kids to visualize, do it with them, walk it through them. Just be like, you know, if you know the moves that they do, okay? And they're like, I don't know how to visualize, I don't know what you're talking about. You know the moves that they like to do. So you walk them through it. Okay, you're gonna go out to the mat, and you're gonna have this great stance, and you're gonna be low, and you're shooting so fast, he's not even gonna see you. You're gonna do your double leg takedown, and then you're gonna go chest to chest, and the kid's gonna be out in like 3 seconds, you know. Or maybe it's more elaborate than that. It just kind of depends what you want to do. But the kid might have a pretty great imagination too, and he can come up with the scenarios that are best for him. Just help them through that. Visualization is great. Hyping them up. I love to do this with the boys, and I must look like the craziest mom.
Bruh.
But I take them out into the hallway, not next to the mats, because people are walking around. It's hectic at a tournament. Sometimes my kids want to wrestle with me there, and I'm like, hold on. We're running into people. Let's not do this. Let's take this hallway. So just do a few moves with them, okay? Be like, just do your double leg real quick. They don't have to go crazy. I mean, it's like a concrete floor, right? It's intense. I'm not asking you to drop your knee to the floor, get hurt, whatever. But just practice a little bit. And if you feel like they're just not attacking good. They're not taking a shot very fast. You just, okay, again, faster, until you're like, wow, that was amazing. Choo, you almost killed me. And you will see so much improvement in their confidence, and they will be so pumped and so ready to go out there. And I promise it's amazing, especially when they're little. Okay, as they get older, that's not needed as much. I still will do it with my 7-year-old. He really likes that. Or dad will go, but a lot of times they'll go with me for whatever reason, and I think it's just because I'm just very excitable about how they're doing. You got to have that energy level with them where you're like, yeah, you guys are awesome. This is so great. I'm so proud of you, you know? That's how you hype them up. That's how you build their confidence. Now my 10-year-old, occasionally he'll want me to wrestle with him, get a little time in, but usually he just wants to talk to me. You know, I'll give him like a little gummy worm, and I kind of tell him like, oh, this is gonna pump your energy. You're gonna be all pumped up, dude. It's kind of like a sprinter or even a marathon runner. You know, they take like glucose packets or whatever, sugar tablets, salt. They're getting their electrolytes right. They're keeping their glucose at a good level. They're fueling up for something that's very strenuous. And wrestling for youth is 1 minute of really, really intense activity, followed by a short break, another minute, and then another minute. And so it's very taxing, and I like to give a little sugar boost. It's motivating because it's delicious, it's a nice treat, and it's actual sugar. I mean, if you talk to people that lift weights for long periods of time, they'll take gummy worms, peach rings, whatever, into the gym, and they will supplement in that way when your energy is running low. And when you think about wrestlers, they go through a ton of energy, and most of them are not eating enough. So they really need to supplement. And at a tournament, you're nervous, you're not eating enough. I don't eat enough. My husband doesn't eat enough. The boys don't eat enough. And we need these energy packets. And when I see kids at tournaments just like eating strawberries, I'm like, wow, those 30 calories are really going to travel for like 5 minutes for you. Wow. And your tummy's going to get really full. Okay. I am all for healthy food. I am all for it. Way more than you can ever imagine. Okay. But there is a time and a place, and you've got to ask yourself, is this going to help my kid perform? My youngest can literally eat a piece of pizza and just go. He's fine. The food is not affecting him in any sort of way. The older one needs more like simple sugars. You got to know how to read your kid's body, you know? Ask them, how did that make you feel? Blah, blah, blah. My kids typically can't eat too much or they're going to be sick. And they don't drink a lot because they don't want to. They don't think about it, and they don't want to have to pee. So we were talking about confidence. I totally went off track.
2 hours later.
Good thing I have the timestamps, okay? But this is important stuff to talk about.
For sure.
I want to do other videos pertaining to this stuff. But I'm gonna keep on track, okay? So the visualization, hype up. For my oldest, yes, sometimes I'll hype him up. That's what I'm getting to. And just when he's one match away, I just let him kind of sit and be quiet and contemplate, and I just try to read what's working for him, okay? And that's part of the helping them relax portion. So when your kid comes to you and they say, I'm really nervous, blah, 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 do not say, don't be nervous, okay? They have a lot to be nervous about. They are tiny. They're tiny humans being held down by somebody else, and they don't want to do that. Maybe some of them do, but it's they don't want to lose. It's a challenging sport, okay? Don't say, don't be nervous. Just say, you know, this is going to be so much fun, and I'm going to be so proud of you no matter what. And just remember to do the moves that you know. And it's going to be great. And no matter whether you win or you lose, I still love you. I'm still proud of you. Okay? I hope that helps, guys. If that was too long, I'm sorry. If it wasn't long enough, tell me what else you want me to talk about, okay? Bye.